Greetings, Judah. DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey, guys. You've heard me talk before a few times about the book of Enoch. And my desire to not only to introduce you to the book, but to encourage you to go get the book so that you can begin to understand what was intentionally hidden from us. It was hidden really from all of, I'm going to say, humankind, because I don't think all men are human, okay? And so you got a humankind, you got a mankind, and you got something else all mixed up in the middle. If that didn't make any sense to you, don't feel bad. It even came across scrambled to me. I'm just saying that, everybody who looks like they're supposedly the creation of Yah in terms of man is not. Some of these are species, are hybrid species that are here from the falling ones. And I think it's important that's continued to be called out, because Yeshua tried to warn us with the parable of the tares and the wheat. He again, as a precept, tried to warn us when he mentioned sheaves and wolf clothing. He also tried to warn us when he said, you're going to have to judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. And religion taught us that this all has something to do with being a believer and not being a believer, and whatever hocus pocus they were trained to indoctrinate you with to keep you from looking at these facts. But the truth of it, he was forewarning us of another species here that had the appearance of man, almost he transformed himself, to look like a man. But it really is a demon, or the seed of the fallen ones, to be more specific. And Enoch kind of breaks that down for us. And I'm going to give you a brief example of what I mean about the importance of the book of Enoch. As you know, it was found with the other Dead Sea Scrolls, so it's not some anomaly book or some unauthorized book. I don't know how the hell, Catholicism and the Council at Nicaea in 325 AD, if they said that, I don't even know if they said that, decided that this book should not be in the canon of books because of its their inability to authenticate it. The truth of it, it was authenticated. It wasn't authenticated. It is an original book, and it's as legitimate as any other book that you find in terms of the oldest writings that were a part of the tablets, or part of, the scrolls that were found. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you one example. And my intention is maybe every Saturdays, what they call them, is to do a chapter or a study out of the book of Enoch, Yah willing. Maybe, that will encourage you, and not only that, but maybe it can guide and help some of you as you read through it, just to get a clear understanding of what you're reading, so that the enemy don't come in with confusion and discourage you and make you, not want to pursue that knowledge. That is last day knowledge, I might add. The book of Enoch is last day knowledge. The signs of the times. Remember Prince's Signs of the Times? The book of Enoch is the last day's knowledge, or the signs of the time, to let you know that the end is near. And how would you be able to determine it? What would be the indicators, okay? And then it also explains to you how the fall happened in the first place. I mean, I'm going to go to Genesis for an example. And I'm going to read to you Genesis chapter 6. Many of you are very familiar with the story of Noah. And when you read Genesis chapter 6, I'm going to give you that chapter, not all of it, but a few verses. Then I'm going to go to the book of Enoch. And I'm going to give you the book of Enoch, just so you know where we're going to be going with this. Make sure, again, the enemy doesn't creep in and, get me off track, because obviously his desire would definitely be to stop this study. But I'm going to give you Enoch chapter 10. Okay, so I'm going to give you Genesis chapter 6. Then I'm going to give you Enoch chapter 10. And what you're going to find out that in Genesis chapter 6, it's almost like watching a trailer of a movie that's soon to come out. The trailer. Now, but when you go to Enoch, you'll see the same. Now you're going to see the actual movie instead of just the trailer. So you'll see things that were in the trailer, but you'll see the movie in its entirety in Enoch. And that's all through Enoch. You'll find the revelations of many of the things that were not so much hid from us. They were hid from us, but it was intentionally kept from us, because not only would it reveal the end of days, it would also reveal who Enoch is. In other words, who are the Nephilim, the fallen ones, the children of the fallen ones. Let me not get too far ahead of myself, okay? So let's go. I'm going to do 3 different precepts this evening. First, we're going to look at Genesis. Then we're going to look at Enoch. And then we're going to look at the Gospel of Matthew, okay? And with the blessings of Yah and the guidings of the Rahuk, I'm going to see if I can tie this in together in a quick little, we'll just call it an ancient study, all right? An ancient study of ancient times and how those ancient times relate to this time and the times that are soon to be coming to judge the earth. All right, so let me start here. Put my little markers there. We're going to start at what a lot of you are very familiar with. If you got your King James Bible, then of course you got Genesis, all of them for the most part. But if you have the 1611, you might even have, I'm not sure if, I know the King James 1611 has some of the apocryphal book. I'm not sure if the book of Enoch is in there. I think Jasher is, but don't hold me to that. I know a lot of apocryphal books are in the 1611. But anyway, in the Cipher Bible, that's what we're looking at, Cipher book. They don't call it a Bible because it isn't a Bible. It's a book. It's a documented history book. But let's go to Genesis, and I'm going to read to you at chapter 6. And it reads, "And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth," in other words, population started to grow, their daughters were born unto them. So there's men with women, being fruitful and multiply, as Yah instructed Adam to do in the garden. "And the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men that they were fair." Now the sons of Elohim, these are the angels, okay? "And the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men that they were fair, that they were attractive. And they took them women of all of them that they chose." Now, this is not a dating situation. This is not, a situation where they were introduced and they decided to, interact together. No, they took these women from the men. They literally, I guess, if anything, it would be like sex trafficking, where someone just goes into a particular community, into a particular tribe, and they kill the men and take the women. They didn't kill all the men, but they took all the women, all the ones, the good-looking ones, what we would call them, the beautiful women. They went through it and they took them all. All right, and they had sex and intercourse with these women. Let's go on to say, and which they chose. They took all the women which they chose. And Yahoo said, "My Rahuk shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years." Verse 4. "There were Nephilim in the earth in those days." And by the way, if you wonder why no one lived to be over 120 years, it's in your book. It's in the book. You heard people. I know somebody lived 130 line. 120 years. You ain't gonna find nobody living past 120 years since the time that this was ascribed. Now there were men who were still living that lived beyond that, like Noah and all of them. If they were already 200 years old or 300 years old, sure Noah was, because I think it took him 140 years to build the ark. So the people who were already on the earth, they lived to be 4, 5, 6, 700 years. But the children that came after them, they not live beyond 120 years. You're not going to find that. Moses, I think, died at 120 years. I think Joshua, 110 years, and such, right in that particular time frame. Okay, I digress. There were Nephilim in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of Elohim, again, the fallen angels, or the angels who left their first estate, who were never supposed to have sex with women, they came into the daughters of men, they bore unto them children. And these same became warriors and tyrants, or men of infamy. In other words, men who are just the most notorious, people on the planet. Now you think about that. When I said, who is Esau? Is Esau not warriors? Are they not crazed about their patriotic soldiers, their killers? Their Army, their Navy, their Air Force, their Space Force, their Marines. Huh? Are they not just super duper? Y'all bless our soldiers. They don't say y'all, they say God, the God of this world. Bless our soldiers. Thank you. Every time you do, thank you for your service. And I'm not picking on the soldiers. I'm just talking about this obsession with war. This country spends more money on the military industrial complex than it spends on its citizens every single year. The majority of your tax dollars go to major war contractors. Right through the Pentagon, right into the pockets of these contractors, and they're coming up with all these DARPA and HARP weapons, again, to be tyrants. The second aspect it talked about here of the sons of Nephilim. Remember, you recall I said earlier, Yeshua said you'll know a tree by the fruits that it bears, correct? Right? That's how you would know if they're us, if they're not us. So they use their weaponry to commit tyranny over the whole world. And then the last, as you saw here, the infamy of them. Who doesn't know about the power and the might and the viciousness of the United States military? But these are the last days. It was not always that way. But remember, we're talking about the end of time and why they did not want you to understand or even uncover the book of Enoch. But again, you should have, if you have the word in your home, you should have the book of Enoch in your home. That's how important this book is, especially in the times that we're living in right now, my brothers and my sisters. And again, you're not going to hear your clergymen and your preachers and your priests and your rabbis and your sheiks and whatever the hell else the rest of them have. Why aren't they talking about that? Why don't they even? I was in religion, and I do mean religion, for almost 30 years, and I never heard anybody mention the book of Enoch. Not one time. Not one time did anyone ever mention to me about a book of Enoch. Now, either these are educated fools or they intentionally were hiding the truth from the people, from the masses. And I think it's probably a combination of both, in my humble opinion. But intentionally keeping it away. Okay, so that's Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 through 5. Let me give you one more verse. Let's go 1 through 4. Let me give you 5. And Yahuwah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. Wow. I think we can all attest that this is that time. That the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Now you tell me, every time you turn on the television, there's some wickedness after wickedness after wickedness. And again, and now it's becoming an affront to those of us who are seeking the ways and trying to live by the commandments and the ordinance of Yah, which is not difficult, but it can be very hard to be disciplined to do it with so much evil that's continually going on around us. I mean, I went out for my little, I try to take care of my body. My body is the temple of Rahuk. So I try to take good care of it. I mean, if I sit up in this chair and kind of do a little of this, and I think you can kind of say, and this is, this fella's, pretty like, I was still alive when I was still around when Martin Luther King was assassinated. No, you figure out the rest for yourself, okay? But, so I try to take care of myself in that way. But, I try to take care of myself. But that say that, you can't walk, in the area I'm walking in. What did I see? 2 different couples. All snugged up and, all smacking and slobbering in each other. And both couples were women with women. Esau women, but they were women with women. And it's that kind of wickedness continued as this, whether you turn the television on or you go outside, you walk outside, or you try to listen to a program, anything. It's just constant evil after evil. Every wicked thought that they can come up. I mean, these devils are so wicked that they want to tell you that there's nothing wrong, with, you loving a man loving another man like he loves a woman, even though we read the consequences of that yesterday, and a woman with another woman, and everybody has a right to choose who they love. And that's about as absurd as saying that, I don't know, again, you've heard me use the parable so that means if I want to sleep with a dog, I can marry a dog and have sex with a dog, that's cool too. Of course, we know that was going on in this particular time and in this particular time. talking about in the days of Noah, as it is in the days of the Son of Man. But in addition to that, I guess now you can sleep with children. If that concept is right, that means you can sleep with your mama. You can do anything, with anything you want to do, anything that comes to your mind. If it feels good, then it's good. And that's the lie that's being perpetuated out there as the truth. And that's why you should know the truth that Yeshua told us, so that it will free you from the bondage of all the lies that you're being bombarded with continually. Okay, now I just gave you the first 5 verses in the book of Genesis. That was the trailer. Now I got to do this quick because I don't want to run out of time. Now I'm going to give you the book of Enoch. And I'm going to be telling you the exact same story, but watch the difference here. The exact same story. Okay, the book of Enoch, chapter 10. Then Elon, the great and holy one, spoke and sent Ashtazelazar, the son of Lamech, saying, say to him in my name, conceal yourself. Then explain to him the consummation which is about to take place, for all the earth shall perish. Remember, if you go back and you go down a little bit, maybe 6 or 7 more verses in Genesis, Yah destroyed the whole earth with water, with deluge. He deluged the whole earth with water. He flooded them out and killed them. Try to rid the earth of that wickedness. And here it is now, it's telling you again what happened, just so you have some context for which I am reading. Then explain to him the consummation of which is about to take place, for all of the earth shall perish. The waters of a deluge shall come over the whole earth, and all things which are in it shall be destroyed. Now teach him how he may escape, and how his seed may remain in the earth. Now who do you think he's talking to? He's talking to Noah. Okay, he's telling this angel to go tell Noah what is to come, so that Noah can prepare. Just like he's using men like myself and many, many others to forewarn you and those that you love what is to come, so that you and those that you love can be prepared. All right, let me go. So let's go to verse 5. And now teach him how he may escape, and how his seed may remain in all the earth. And again, Yeshua said unto Raphael, bind Azazel, hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness. And opening the desert which is in Dalael, cast him in there. So I don't know if it's the doggone deserts, the Nevada deserts out there where you got all these underground bunkers in the United States out there in Arizona, Las Vegas, Nevada, or this is in Dubai in the Middle East. But they're underground. They're down there. They are down there. All right. And so any preacher that's not preaching you to what's down there, they're either liars or they're too ignorant to be having a platform to be talking about anything as it relates to Yah. Excuse me. And he said, throw upon him hurdled and permanent stones, covering him with darkness. And there shall he remain forever. Cover his face, that he may not see light. And in the great day of judgment, let him be cast into the fire. Y'all gonna burn his wicked ass up for what he did. And then he says, restore the earth, which the angels have corrupted, and announce life to it, that I may revive it. And see, that's what happened after Noah. See, y'all had to kind of redo the whole thing all over again. Which he did. He revived it. Yah did, him and the angels. And all the sons of men shall not perish in the consequence of every secret by which the watchers have destroyed, and which they have taught their offspring. All right, now who are the watchers? Again, these same angels who fell from their first estate, who decided to go down and kidnap and rape women to produce offspring. And what they did, they taught their offspring all these wicked things. And they're not just teaching the ones underground, which they are, but they're sending signals through the earth. That's why Esau is never content. That's why Esau is full of lust. That's why Esau can never be satisfied, no matter how much Esau has. That's why Esau can never repent of the wickedness that he's done to Israel. That's why Esau refuses to bow himself and to pay recompense for the theft of a people, kidnapping of a people, or robbing of a people of all of their resources, all of their culture, their lives, their children, their legacy, and refuse to give reparations to restore, because it's not in their wicked hearts to do it, at least not to Israel. He goes on and says, and all the sons of men shall not perish in the consequence of every secret by which the watchers have destroyed, and which they have taught their offspring. And all the earth has been corrupted by the effects of the teaching of Azazel, the one he cast in the damn underground. Not in hell, underground. Two different places. He's going to the cast in the fire at judgment. He's just locked up underground right now. So when they going under there and they digging under the ocean and digging all under the earth, they're down there with that CERN, and building that big, this big, it's called, I don't want to lose time by trying to figure out what they call it. It's almost like a big transforming wheel, a big old tunnel that they use to dig under the earth. They're going out there and they're trying to break into so-called black hole out of darkness that's supposed to be in outer space. Trust me, God, that black hole that they're looking for ain't in outer space. It's down in the earth, and they know good and so well it is. But they will lie and not tell you that. They'll tell you that it's out in space somewhere, when everything is happening right under your feet and not up there. That's a lie. Got you looking up when you should be really looking and being curious of what's going on down there. All right, let's keep on going. And all the earth was corrupted by the effects and the teachings of Azazel. And to him, therefore, ascribed the whole crime. In other words, he charge his ass with everything that happened. But that don't mean, you're going to be absolved, Judah. And Esau, you're definitely not going to be absolved. You're going to read the book of Obadiah and find out what's going to happen to you. And to Gabriel, also Yeshua said, go to the bastards. So all you guys who say, why that guy cusses it? Why he used fuck? Did you hear what I just said? What I just read? Maybe you can help me. What can you tell me what the word BASTARDS means? Well, how do you pronounce that word? Because it is in the book. Is it pronounced bastards? Okay, just check it. So next time you want to accuse me of being vulgar, you might as well make sure you make that same accusation against Yah. And to Gabriel also, y'all said, go to the bastards and to the reprobates. You know what a reprobate is? Someone that Yah has given up on. I'm not going to try to convince them anymore. I'm not going to try to change their hearts anymore. I'm done with them. Let them believe whatever they want to believe. He said to the reprobates, to the children of fornication. These are idolaters. When he said the children of fornication, talking about all these people practicing these holidays and worshiping these statues and the horoscopes and the occult. All of those wicked things, all these religions, all of those are fornications. And that's what he's talking about when he said the children of fornication. Destroy the children of fornication. That's what's going to happen to you for that by doing that, by the way. And as I said before, religion is another form of witchcraft. That's all that is. You should get yourself out of that mess. And destroy the children of fornication, the offspring of the watchers from among men, and bring them forward and excite them one against another. Or Yah said, I'm going to make them kill each other. That's what they do all the time. These Joe go around slaughtering each other. Think about World War I, France and Germany and United States, England. Think same thing World War II with Russia in the mix. China, all of them. Just mass slaughtering each other. And then they got the audacity to talk about what happens in the hood, amongst Judah. Nothing that's at the magnitude of what you guys do. Nothing on that magnitude. You guys kill millions, hundreds of millions. And then you try to criticize, a city where 300 people were killed, which is not right. But still, you're in no place to talk and criticize, for certain. But that's what you do because you're reprobated. You can't put two cognitive thoughts together and draw the right conclusion. If it saved your damn life, you can't do it because your heart is wicked. And to Gabriel also said, go to the bastards. Okay, we went there already. And from among men, bring them forward and excite them one against another, and let them perish by mutual slaughter. For the length of days shall not be theirs, and they shall entreat you, but their fathers shall not obtain their wishes respecting them. In other words, he's saying when Esau pray, y'all don't hear their cries. Y'all don't hear what they're saying. They go into all these churches and use these John Hagees and Joe Osteens and Rod Parsleys, the Jimmy Swaggarts, and you can name all the rest of them. Y'all don't hear them bastards. Yeah, I call them bastards. Y'all don't hear those bastards. He said when they try to entreat you, Gabriel, let them know I don't hear nothing that you saying. And he said, and they shall hope for eternal life, and that they may live, each of them 500 years. He said, but they ain't getting it. They're not getting it. And to Michael, he likewise, Yahweh said, go and announce his crime to Shemaziah and to the others who are with him, who have also been associated with women, that they might be polluted with their own impurity. And when all their sons shall be slain, and when they shall see the perdition of their beloved, bind them for 70 generations underneath the earth. Wow. Them. So it's not just one. Bind them for 70 generations under the earth. So you want to talk about counting back time from the days of Noah? What is 70 generations? Do the math. Because at the end of 70 generations, it's going to repeat itself. As Yeshua said, as it was in the days of Noah. Go back and read Matthew chapter 27, verse 37, 38, and 39. He says, so shall it be before the end of the return of the Son of Man coming back. He said, bind them for 70 generations underneath the earth, and even to the day of judgment, and the consummation until the judgment, the effect of which shall last forever, be completed. Then shall they be taken away into the lowest depths of the fire and torments, and in confinement shall they be shut up forever. That's what's coming to Esau. And Esau knows it too. That's why he's trying to run and escape and trying to go hide himself, trying to kill and destroy all of us in the meanwhile. Because he knows what's coming. It's like those demons, like that man who had the demons in Gethsemane, not in Gethsemane, but when Yeshua went across the little small sea, and this man that was his cave, this lunatic, when Yeshua came upon it, they said, we know who you are, Yeshua. Why have you come to destroy us before the time? See, Esau knows. And when I say Esau, I'm not just talking about the Caucasides. I'm talking about all of his offspring cousins, from the Arabs to the Asians, to the Canaanites, the Hammonites, and any other ites I may have forgotten, and Ishus included. Then shall they be taken away to the lowest depths of the fire and torments, and in confinement, and they shall be shut up forever. And immediately after this shall Shamzuziah, together with them, burn and perish, and they shall be bound until the consummation of many generations. Destroy all the souls addicted to lust. And that is Esau. I mean, they can't help but boast and brag about what they got and what they want and how many of. And the offspring of the watchers, for they have tyrannized over mankind. And let every oppressor perish from the face of the earth, and let evil work be destroyed. The plan of righteousness and of the restitute appear, and it produces become a blessing. Its produce becomes a blessing. In other words, Yahweh, I got to get rid of them so this earth can restore and come back to its true purpose for us. He said, righteousness and restitute shall be forever planted with delight. And then shall my people give thanks and live until they have begotten 1,000 children. And while the whole period of their youth and their Shabbat shall be completed in peace, their whole lifetime, 1,000 years, we're going to live in peace without them devils and their offspring being here to continue to cause contention and war and hatred and wicked abominations, killing and shedding of innocent blood included. And in those days, the earth shall be cultivated in righteousness, and shall be wholly planted with trees and filled with benediction. And every tree of the light shall be planted in it. Benediction means just giving honor and praise unto Yah for his goodness. And it shall be vines, and the vine shall be planted, and the vine which shall be planted in shall yield fruit of satiety. Every seed which shall be sown in it shall produce for 1 measure 1,000, and 1 measure of olives shall produce 10 presses of oil. Talking about maximizing its full potential, like you should be doing, if you Judah. Wanted to call Yeshua children, but Judah, Israel. He said, it's going to say, now purify the earth from all the oppression, from all injustice, from all crime, from all impiety, and from all the pollution which is committed upon it. Exterminate them from the earth. See, that's why they don't want you to see this, guys, because they know this book is talking about them, Esau. Exterminate them from the earth. Then shall all the children of men be righteous, and all the nations shall pay me divine honors and bless me, and shall adore me. The earth shall be cleansed from all corruption, from every crime, from all punishment, and from all suffering. Neither will I again send a deluge upon it from generation to generation forever. So the whole problem we have right now is Esau, Edom, and all of his relatives. That's what's destroying and killing. Even the trees, the sky, the ground, the water, fish, birds, plants are crying for Yah to come and get rid of these devils, or the children, the offsprings of these devils, because they're wicked. And they have no interest in being repentant. They have zero conscience of it. All they care about is their toys, their boys, their girls, and the next weapon of war they can conjure up to control and destroy us. And in the process, Yah said they're going to destroy themselves. That's their judgment. And then they're going to confine them in hell and judgment down there and torment and fire for eternity after eternity, while we're here benefiting from their absence and their rottenness being taken away. Praise Yah. Now I'm going to go to Matthew just to end this thing up. Praise Yah. Okay. Matthew 24, verse 38. But in that day and hour knows no man, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man, Adam, be. For in the days of Noah, before the flood, they were eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage until that day Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Adam be. And when they say giving in marriage, you know what they're talking about? People marrying people for their money. That's what giving in marriage is. In other words, it's all about some type of contract. I get something for this. So marrying is one thing, giving in marriage is something. He said we'll be doing both. And how many people you know right now are marrying people for their money? That shit is rampant all through the land. And unfortunately, even inside of Judah, it's happening now. But that's what giving in marriage is about. But everything else, the wickedness, the debauchery, the murder, the lust, the fornication, the tyranny, the murder, the incest, the killing and shedding of innocent blood, all those things are happening right now as they did then. And as you see now, you know, history is repeating itself. The question is where you're going to be when Yah returns, my brothers and my sisters. I know where I'm going to be. Hopefully sitting right here on the Sabbath teaching the word of Yah to someone. Share this video if you think it'll help them. But more importantly, react. Go get your book. Get into Enoch. We'll talk more about Enoch on next Saturday. See you then for Enoch. See you before for whatever Yah gives to me to share with you. Bye now.